Jafana is so freaking excited to be putting the sealant down. I don't know if it's because she wants to see what the floors look like shiny or because she wants us to be over. She says both. We have cleaned everything. We have come back through with our vacuum. We even brought the Dyson here from the house. Came through with that. The first thing you're gonna do is come up to the top and cut it in along the top. We're using a urethane water-based acrylic sealant from Eagle Sealant. Everything we've used along the way has come from the Eagle Sealant line. We wanted to stick with the same product line all the way through. So,
it's blue.
It is blue. So it says if it's opaque or turns more cloudy, which I don't think it has, although there is some cloudiness. It said it would be cloudy. It says you're supposed to stop and neutralize more. We put so much neutralizer on this floor in the cleaning process, I don't know how it could still need more. So I'm hopeful that we're doing it right. It's definitely kind of cloudy blue, but all right, one way or another, we're gonna help somebody out. So this is the water-based acrylic. I've put it down. You do see overlapping brush marks. I've tried to even those out. It's not easy. It looks blue. It's supposed to be milky when it goes down, and then it's gonna dry clear. It says that if it's opaque, or if it gets more milky after you put it down, to stop and go ahead and scrub it up and re-neutralize everything. I don't think that's what's happening, but I gotta tell you, it twists my stomach up a little bit just because of the amount of effort that's already gone into this floor, and it has been a chore. So I wanted to go ahead and catalog it for everybody so that they can see, and when we come back in here in a couple hours, we'll know if we got it right or we got it wrong, and if we got it wrong, you'll know what it looks like. Right here, I think there's a little bit of reaction that tells me that we probably didn't get enough of it up right there. And I may be having to come back through and do a little spot remediation, but it is what it is. Jafana apparently has no fear whatsoever of it not working properly, so she's just doing it. So since I showed it a little while ago, it's been less than probably about 30 minutes since I came over here before. So it is definitely drying and it's becoming clearer. When you look through it, yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
It's very exciting. Oh my gosh, that looks gorgeous.
So this is what was worrying me, is the blue. But as you can see, thankfully, it is actually turning clear as it dries, which is wonderful. I wanted to include that because I know if anybody else is like me, when they see that blue, they're gonna be like, this is wrong, something's wrong. But no, that's how it's supposed to look. And that's how it gets clear. So it's turning out good, even if it's freaking me out a little bit.
Let's paint it into the corner.
The other rooms aren't drying as fast. Well, all right, we're back in here. Ooh, look at that. Now that is a nice, rich looking floor. Now you can see we went back and we did our lines in the main room going this direction. The next coat is going to go this way. You can see, I don't know if it shows on film, but you can see a little bit of the lines from the edge of the roller. It's not a big deal. I think that'll fade. That's supposed to fade out. I believe that is why you do it going the other direction on the next coating, but it didn't leave any kind of ugly, there's no real deposits, there's no lines, there's nothing perceptible to the touch, and it is looking really good. I wish there was more light in here right now. It's, what we got here? 6:30. We have a big light we can hook up to the generator as well, but it looks like we can get in here. Oh, I like this. It looks like we can get in here and do some more, get a second coat tonight. Like I said, we might have to move the light around, but that's okay. I'm gonna go get the equipment and get set up. It looks like everything dried the way we needed it to. And I'm going to jump into doing a second coat. It was getting late, and experience tells us that when we start pushing too late into the night, sometimes we make mistakes. And if it hadn't been for the fact that this particular type of sealant requires that you put a second coat on in a very short window after it's dried, we would have gone ahead, wrapped everything up for the night, come back, and done it in the morning. Sometimes, to get it right, you have to push on. Well, I worked by flashlight into the dark last night to get 2 coats down. Now there's a couple of rooms over here that have not had any put down because they needed some extra time to dry. But the rest of this place has had more than 48 hours to dry. And it looks fantastic. I mean, we could not be more pleased. This turned out great. The areas where I ground the stuff out and re-dyed, we're happy with that. It gives it a look of a little bit of a movement. That old warehouse style floor is exactly what we achieved. And that's exactly, I mean, that completely fits the place. The industrial farmhouse, the whole thing. It's got the movement we wanted. Slight variations in color. It's got a nice sheen to it. I've got 2 coats of acrylic on here. I've got 10 gallons of the acrylic wax on order. So when that gets here, I'll probably be able to get 3 or 4, probably 4 coats out of that. So that should go on and look pretty good, help bring up the shine, and gives it a nice sacrificial coat. So anything that scratches it will go into the wax, not likely to go into the sealant. The rooms turned out really nice. Had some concerns yesterday while we were putting it down. Everything cured the way it's supposed to. Really looks beautiful. I'm gonna get the stove put back where it belongs, set that down and put coat underneath the area where the stove was sitting. Get over here in these rooms and finish these, because these have not been sealed yet. Master bedroom has, and I couldn't be happier with this. Now we had a lot of areas in here where I came in with the diamond cup grinder and took off some adhesive that was on the floors. We restained those and took a lot of time to work those in, but it came out really nice. Picks up the light very nice. Exactly what we wanted. Couldn't be happier. But it was a lot of work. Man, it was a lot of work. I'll forget how much work it was as time goes by, and I'll be happy with the floors, so that's really what matters. And I know that Jafana's gonna love them, so this perfectly matches what she wanted when we get the white painted drywall on the walls. It matches the door very nicely. I'm looking forward to getting some of this plastic down, get a look at the wood, and see how that fared. I think it did okay. So, what I did to protect the beams, it looks like a little bit of rinse water got in right there, but there's not a lot of dye there, so I should be able, I think I can probably sand that out, should be no problem. What I did was, I put my tape on it, and then I put a bead of sealant all the way around, sealing it to the cement to help try to prevent stuff from being able to get up into it, and it looks like it worked. So I'll be able to sand that out, and that should be fine. And I'm going to go ahead and take that off the rest of these beams because I don't need it down here anymore. The only thing that's going on here now is wax, and I'm not worried about that. That's not going to get on the beams. It's going to be splashing around. All right, I want to show this on camera because yesterday when we were putting it down, it caused me some concern. There's a certain amount of milkiness. I'm sure it shows up, and it's almost green. And what I think that is, we had a heck of a time getting that cleaner up out of the floor. And I mean, every time we would put plain water on here and scrub, bubbles would come up and you'd start to see soap. So we worked really hard to get that residue up. And I'm thinking that some of that got down into the corners. Now, based on the experience we had yesterday, every once in a while you would see that. I'm not sure if that's what it was or if that's just because extra wax tends to lay along the edges, but we had that same experience on all these walls and they all turned out fine. They cured properly. I get down there and I rub on them. They're not coming up. Everything seems to be exactly as it should be. So I just wanted to show that and share that because I'm sure other people are going to run into the same thing and looking at it thinking, you know, do we have a problem? What's going on here? So I do notice right here that it's very white around the cracks. Now, I had the same thing happen in the bathroom, and today it looks fine. I'm going to proceed and finish up this area, step out and allow everything about 4 hours to dry, come back and do it again. All right, come back in 3 hours and check it. Well, it is Sunday afternoon. The floors are done. The only thing that's left to do is put a couple coats of wax. I'll have the wax delivered sometime this week, so next weekend we'll be in here putting down the first 1 or 2 coats of wax. We'll also probably jump back onto the plumbing and get some of the rest of the PEX lines run. Jafana's had time to come up with the measurements for all of the cabinets, so I know exactly where I need to put the PEX lines, what height they need to be, but this is the floor. I just did that last square, giving it a second coat because we had the wood stove sitting on it, so there was a spot that needed to be corrected. The floors are looking good. We are very, very happy with them. I don't know what else to say except that they turned out really good and we are thrilled. Thanks for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Come on back. Check us out again at Breakheart Orchard. And if you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you find out about the next video we put up. We'll be here.